throwaway account because my main has family on it. I'm posting this now because trail season's starting and someone's going to hear it again. If you hike Black Hawthorn Preserve, Midwest, I won't say which state, read this and print it if you have to. I'm SAR, Search and Rescue Adjunct, nights only, meaning I get called when the sun's down and the rangers want extra boots. We have a rule out there, we don't put on the brochures. Never answer an echo after the second reply. That sounds like a joke until you hear your own voice come back 3 times when there's only 2 hills and no one behind you. The missing kid, the one that broke me, was Jace. 17, track kid, decent grades, a little too much to prove. He went off trail after sunset with 2 friends because TikTok said the stone stairs were real. The stairs are a local rumor, steps cut into tree roots that go nowhere, like a staircase a giant started and got bored. At 8:41 p.m. Jace texted, "The group chat. Found them lol, you can hear yourself in here." There was a 12-second audio clip, wind, feet, and Jace yelling, "Hey!" Then hey are 3 echoes. You get it. By 10:03 his friends had walked out sick and crying. One kid said he kept hearing his name and his mother's voice from the trees. The other said the trail rolled up behind them like a tongue. They left Jace because he told them to run. When teens say that, what they mean is a thing told them to run and wore their friend's mouth to say it. We got paged 10:21. I met Gail, night ranger, 30 years, doesn't smile because she saved it for later, at the trailhead. We checked in on radio channel 4. The map box said, "Take 1" with a stack of fresh trifolds. Gail slapped tape over the words and wrote with Sharpie, "On trail only." "Remind me," I said, "why the 3rd echo matters." She flicked her eyes. "At the dark." "Because it's not your voice anymore. The rules, the ones we actually use. Count to 2 and stop. 2 echoes in Black Hawthorn are physics. 3 is company. If your radio says copy after you've already confirmed, hit the squelch and change channels. If it follows, turn the radio off. It can only say what it's heard. Don't feed it. If you see the root stairs, do not climb. They're not stairs. They're teeth. They'll lift you into a store you don't want to be in. 4. Don't whistle. That's an invitation and a shape. It likes shapes. If your name comes back in a voice you love, breathe through it. It hates the 3rd breath. Most things do. 6. Leave something of no value if you feel watched. Twine, a button, but never blood, never hair. Trades happen in old places. Don't teach it your price. If you must cut across switchbacks, count your steps. If the number 3 disappears, you say 1, 2, 4, go back to the trail. It already has your 3rd. Never ever answer a question it asks, especially not "Where are you?" or "Are you alone?" If you reach the creek and it's flowing the wrong direction, you're on its tongue. Step back through. Your footprints, yes, it will have them. We went in under a moon like a hangnail. The woods did that particular late fall quiet. Dry leaves making small sounds like thoughts. Frost at the edges of the trail looked like salt. "Hey!" Gail called once, long enough to mark us as people and not prey. "Jace!" "Jace." The trail answered twice. The 3rd came a moment later, warmer. "Jace." Not an echo, an attempt. Like a foreign speaker testing your vowels. 2, Gail said low. "We're fine." Switchback 7. At the 7th switchback you can see the creek. It should be east of you. It was west. My mouth went dry like I'd licked a battery. Gail touched my sleeve. "Back 1, she said. We stepped back through our own prints. The creek slid to where it belonged like a picture frame straightening. There was a shape just off trail. Wood, pale in the headlamp. Steps cut out of a fallen trunk and up into nothing. I felt the stupid teenage pull to climb just one. The center of each step was worn like a finger bowl. Gail didn't look at it. Eyes on me. I looked at her. Something peered over my shoulder, using my mother's voice, and said, "Sweetheart?" I breathed in once, twice, 3 times. Count steady. The thing behind me didn't like that and went quiet. We found Jace's first sign at 11:02 p.m. 1 red track spike hung on a blackberry. thorn like it had been placed. The insoles were damp and warm, he couldn't be far. "Jace!" I called. "Jace!" "Jace!" came back, 1, 2, and then, like a friend entering a joke late, "Where are you?" Gail's hand landed on my radio and turned it off. Nope, the trees creaked like the alphabet learning new letters. The numbered trees passed the stairs. Black hawthorn grows a stand of old ash that lean in. People carve initials. If you go in daylight, you'll see hearts and arrows. At night, you see numbers. Short, clean notches at chest height. I2, skip, vierfing, skip, E, every third missing. On one trunk, someone had scraped a name where the 3 would have been, Jace. The bark around it looked rubbed, like a deer had used it to lose velvet, only the polish sat at human height. My light caught something at the base. 3 nickels laid, in a row on a flat stone. Someone had tried to pay. That never works. Gail placed a length of bright mason line from her pocket between 2 saplings and tied it off like a tripwire. "Step over," she said. "Don't touch." "What is it?" "A line that remembers we're real." "Does it stop it?" "No." She smiled without humor. "It stops us." We stepped over. The forest changed temperature like a room. When the door opens. Radio things, I turned my radio back on to ping base. Team 1 at ash stand found Spike continuing north toward ravine. Gale. Copy. Base. Miller. Copy. A third copy came a beat later in a voice that was mine if I'd smoked for a decade. I turned the radio off. Gale did too. Somewhere to our left, leaves shifted, and something tall tested how much our backs believed in it. Jace cried out at 11:39, in a voice that had been run through a low-pass filter. "Help. I'm here. Please don't." The last word cut like tape stopped with a thumb. We moved fast and quiet because quiet counts here. Gale used a little brass clicker instead of talking. 1 click for stop, 2 for go, 3 she didn't use. If you've never followed clicks through leaf litter at night while something that's learned your name walks parallel, congratulations on your good life. We found him in the ravine. The mouth that isn't Black Hawthorn ravine isn't deep. It's just rude. Roots like ribs, rocks that look like kicked teeth. Jace hunched against a root flare with his hands jammed, under his thighs like he was keeping himself from clapping. His eyes were open too wide. When my light hit him, he flinched like he was the one holding it. He had 1 shoe, his sock was a mud brick around his ankle. "It asks questions," he said. "Teeth not working right. It sounds like coach and then like my mom and then like me. It says, 'Where are you, and are you alone, and do you remember?' and..." He gagged. Gale gave him the vomit bag like she was handing him a favor. "It doesn't know anything. It only knows what we know. It keeps asking to learn more." Behind, a something repeated patiently. "Do you remember?" in my voice. "Do you..." Gale tossed a space blanket toward it. The crinkle noise tangled, bought us 10 seconds of not being interesting. "Stand up," she told Jace. "We're walking. You step where I step." Jace stared past us at the root stairs visible from the ravine, luminous in headlamps. "I didn't climb," he said. "I almost did. I put my hand on the first one and it felt like it was going to chew. My hand still..." He held it out. The grooves of his palm were reddened like schoolyard burns. "Did you answer the third echo?" Gale asked. Jace shut his eyes. "I think so." Gale didn't swear. She only breathed once, and even her breath sounded like a decision. Walking. Out, we went out different from how we came, because that's how Black Hawthorn likes to be respected. Gale tied more lines. Bright cord you could see even when your brain started naming the dark. We counted steps out loud, not giving it any blanks. I took point and made my mouth busy with numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jace behind me whispered, not to me. "Where are you?" Like a kid practicing a foreign prayer. I reached back and squeezed his wrist once, short and real. Leaves. To our right moved in a narrow, upright way. The thing there tried a new sound. A question it had learned recently. "Do you want to go home?" in Gale's tone exactly. And if you've never heard a thing wear your friend like that, then I hope you never do. Gail didn't turn her head. She said, conversational, "I didn't teach you that," and kept walking. At the ash stand, the nickels were gone. We didn't look for them. The mason line we'd stepped over was warm when my shin brushed it. Warm, like a wrist. At switchback 7, the creek was where it belonged. Good water sound. Jace sobbed once and then bit it back like a stupid dog. Teen pride doing what it does. "Almost there," I said, which is a phrase you learn not to say unless you want the woods to disagree. That's when my radio, off, said "copy" in my voice. Not out loud, not from the speaker, from the plastic in my hand, like static growing, a mouth. I put it down in the trail without ceremony. Gail did the same. Jace tried to keep his, then placed it gently like he was laying down a baby he didn't know he had. 2 bends later, the trail widened, and the lot lights glowed sodium through the trees like a city under a lake. Jace started to walk faster. Gail stopped him with 2 fingers. "Count," she said. "1, 2, Jace said. 3, I said. 3, Gail said. He stared at the lights a second longer like a moth thinking about careers, then matched our steps. The third echo followed us to the wooden footbridge and stopped there. It said "copy" one more time, but it sounded tired, like chewing gum that had lost flavor. Then it rustled back into the trees, feeling for a better angle. After EMS took Jace. He had a mild exposure, a severe crush on adrenaline, and the particular haunting teenagers get when they realize the world is not a shape they can push around. He DM'd me once a week later to ask if the stairs were really real. I sent him a photo of his track spike on the evidence shelf with a sticky note that said, "Return to owner when ready." He replied, "LOL, thanks," and then, "Did you hear it too?" and then nothing. Gail hung our radios on the hooks outside the station and let them sit in the cold. "They get ideas if you let them inside right away," she said. "Do you think it learned anything from us?" I asked. She stared into the trees, which looked back with their million reasonable eyes. "It always does." We updated the report like we always do. Found subject at 2339 ambulatory, escorted to TH. No mention of stairs, no mention of nickels, no mention of the way the trail said "copy" with my mouth. That night in the cabin, the sink made a small pipe sigh and I almost answered "copy" just to be a bitch about it. Instead, I wrote this: "If you're going anyway, here's what I want you to keep if you go into any woods that have a reputation for weird echoes or staircases that go nowhere, or anything that feels like a dare written by a place. If you shout your friend's name and hear it 3 times, the third belongs to someone else. Don't teach it more words. Your breath is a metronome. Count it. 2 in, 1 out. Nothing likes the third breath you won't give it. Lines matter. Tie a bright string between 2 trees and step over, not under. You'll remember which way you crossed when the trail folds on you. Trade small, never personal. Buttons and twine are rent. Blood and hair are ownership. If the creek flows wrong, your map is in its mouth. Backtrack on your prints. Do not try a shortcut. If a staircase made of roots offers you an up, you are already in a down. Walk away. And if you've already broken a rule and that third echo has your name in it, do this. Stand still, breathe in twice, hold the third breath like a secret, and say out loud in your ordinary voice, "Not for you." Then walk, counting. It hates ordinary. It wants stories. If you answer it here, in the comments, in your kitchen, under your breath, it hears you. That's not superstition. That's how mouths work. They make doors. My radio is hanging by the back door as I type. This. The lot lights out the window are sodium yellow, the kind that make night look like soup. I swear I can hear a second copy in the heater and something waiting to be a third. I'm not going to give it one. If you go to Black Hawthorn, take a map from the box and put a button in. If the sign says "take 1, leave it alone. If it says "take 1, leave 1, it already knows you. Be polite, be cheap, be boring. And if you hear your name 3 times, listen for the 4th, the one where it asks you a question, then walk. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and would like more stories.